When you're cruising to Alaska, you have so many options from cruise lines and cruise ships. So which one do you choose? I'm currently sailing from Alaska on the Discovery Princess, and last year I sailed on Quantum of the Seas with Royal Caribbean at the same time in May. So in this video, Princess Cruises is facing off with Royal Caribbean. Hi, I'm Kristen. My channel is The Bargain Chasing Tourist. I've been cruising since 2000, and I actually worked on cruise ships for 5 years. I am on a quest to find the ideal cruise ship for Alaska. So Princess Cruises and Royal Caribbean, you're up. The first aspect that's really important for any cruise is the price, because Alaska cruises aren't cheap. My Royal Caribbean cruise was less expensive, and that's mainly because I got a kids sail free promotion. So I only paid port fees and taxes for my daughter and my nephew. Now, my Princess cruise was more expensive, and we had comparable staterooms in both cruises, and they both sailed round trip from Seattle. Now, can you say, well, the Princess cruise was a year later, so travel has gotten more expensive, and maybe that's part of it. Yes, you have to factor that in. Before you say, Kristen, comparing Princess to Royal Caribbean is like apples to oranges. They're so different, from the brands themselves to the demographics of the cruise guests. Hear me out. I am proof that you can love many different cruise lines for different reasons. So I'm going to show you the Alaska experience for the different cruise lines so you can determine which aspects are important to you. One of the most important things to consider for a cruise is the food. So let's compare Princess Cruises at Royal Caribbean and specifically the included food. I don't pay for specialty dining on cruises on Alaska cruises because that's one of the ways I save money. Now, I did end up eating at Chop's Grill on the Quantum of the Seas, but I did not have to pay extra for it, which I'll get to momentarily. One area where Princess truly excels in Alaska is the menus and the food. So Princess ships in Alaska have a special Alaska menu, and I've really enjoyed it. I think the food has been amazing in the dining rooms and in the buffet. I am really happy about the selection that is included with your cruise cost. So I haven't felt the need to do any specialty dining because I love the food in the regular venues that are included. The main dining room on Quantum of the Seas was pretty lackluster, and I'm talking about the actual meals and the service. I'm a big seafood fan, and I was really disappointed that we were in Alaska and Royal Caribbean didn't offer any fresh seafood. Now, maybe I'm a cruise snob, but when I'm in Alaska, I don't want to eat frozen Atlantic salmon. The highlight of the dining experience on the Quantum of the Seas was eating at Chop's Grill, which was hands down the best meal and service of the entire week. Now, we got to eat at Chop's because I purchased the Key VIP pass, which normally includes an embark lunch in the main dining room with highlights of the Chop's menu. So our bus to the Seattle port was delayed, so we didn't actually get there until the kitchen had closed for lunch. So they invited us to come back to Chops the restaurant on one of the sea days, which ended up being better because we got our choice of the entire menu. Now, this meal was not entirely free because I had paid for the key passes for each of us, but I think we still lucked out. Now, I have an entire video about the Key, which I will link below. What is your favorite cruise ship for Alaska? Let me know in the comments below. The ships of Royal Caribbean and Princess are quite different as far as the structure and what they have available inside. So let's talk about those for a moment. We'll start with Princess. So Princess ships, beautiful, stunning interior. The piazza on the Discovery Princess is the most beautiful midship gathering area I've seen, I think, on any cruise ship. The public areas, beautiful decor with the colors and the accents. I loved it. I feel like the Discovery Princess is prettier on the inside than Royal Caribbean. Now, the downside of Discovery Princess in particular was that the public areas do not have good viewing. There's no solarium. There are no areas that have these floor-to-ceiling windows where you can see the beauty of Alaska. And you know, so much of your Alaskan cruise is experiencing Alaska's nature and the views from the ship. It really was disappointing that most of the areas on the Discovery Princess for viewing are all outdoors and uncovered. Now, the Quantum class ships on Royal Caribbean were built with floor to ceiling windows everywhere. So you feel connected to Alaska nature, even if you're not outside. Even if I was in the spa, I could see the beauty of Alaska outside. So there's so many places for people to spread out and still enjoy the beauty of Alaska. The other thing on Royal Caribbean, I didn't feel like the ship was crowded. I felt like the guests were more evenly dispersed in the areas than on Princess, where the piazza is the gathering place, but it tends to get crowded very quickly, get loud. You can't find a seat. Royal Caribbean ships in Alaska focus a lot on activities and keeping their guests busy. Quantum class ships in Alaska have this amazing public space. It's this indoor activity center called the Seaplex, and they use this for roller skating nights, for bumper car nights, for laser tag. During the day, the kids can hang out here for sports. This was an area that my family used heavily. On the Quantum class ships, you have the flow rider, you have the skydiving experience, which I was too afraid to do. You also have rock climbing. There is the North Star, which was unfortunately broken during my Quantum of the Seas cruise, but it would be amazing to see Alaska from so high up. And this is something that's definitely unique to Royal Caribbean. On the Quantum, there is the solarium, and there's also an indoor pool for families. So my family definitely took advantage of that. One thing when I think about my Royal Caribbean cruise is we did so much on this cruise. We never felt bored, and I love that about my Quantum of the Seas cruise. I did feel like I got time to relax, but I also felt like we had a good balance of relaxation and activities to keep the kids busy. On the flip side, Princess Cruises does so much Alaska immersion for their guests by way of enrichment and activities. When you cruise with Princess to Alaska, you will see that the ship is decked out for Alaska, from the decor in the shops and the piazza to the menu to the enrichment every day with the naturalist talks. And then we had this amazing presentation in the Princess Theater by the first female winner of the Iditarod, which was by far my favorite entertainment of that entire cruise. When it comes to entertainment, Royal Caribbean takes the cake. I think Royal Caribbean has the best entertainment across all the cruise lines. And in Alaska, it was no different. We went to this epic show in Cafe 270, which I wasn't able to film. I don't think they let us film it, if I can remember. It was something you would pay a lot for on land. Their shows in the main theater were also very strong. Princess Entertainment, it was good, but I don't think it comes close to Royal Caribbean. I think Royal Caribbean rules the cruise ship entertainment. Royal Caribbean versus Princess. Who's the winner for you? I'm still trying to find the ideal ship for Alaska. Which other cruise line do you think I should try for Alaska next year? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Kristen from the Bargain Chasing Tourist, and I hope to see you at sea.